Good late afternoon, everyone. We should be live. It's Thursday, August 21st, 4:48 p.m. is the time, and the temperature is a pretty nice 22 degrees Celsius here in Midtown. Hopefully everything is coming through a-okay on the stream. Let me just do a quick check. Good. All right, at least that seems to be the case. Vivian Johnson's here, Medano's here, Brad Palmer, Marge, Aiden Thompson McGuire, Patrick, Violet, Drew, Mark, Steph Curry, Himani, sorry, Aiden Thompson McGuire, Zach McNally. Thanks for tuning in. I'm here at Yonge and St. Clair, but the plan isn't to go south down Yonge Street. We'll go south a few blocks. There I am, although my destination is the Eaton Center. I do have to meet someone there around 6:15. So, let's get some steps in. So we're starting in Midtown. We're gonna end up in downtown. I'll do a little bit of residential along the way. Just make sure my backpack is all done up. Yep. That's the 512 St. Clair streetcar. Violet says, "Hi Johnny, glad to be here." Well, you're glad to be here. Thanks for tuning in. My plans changed at the last minute, so I had to pull a bit of an audible. I was going to stream somewhere else. It seems like a pretty nice day. I should have got out and made some videos today, but oh well, tomorrow I'll be keeping busy. Sanjay in Kingston's here. Hello, Sanjay in Kingston. Drew says back in about half an hour, most likely. You better be, Drew. We'll be holding you accountable to that. And just a friendly reminder to like, subscribe, hit the bell, and all that fun stuff. I might go live tomorrow. If not, it'll be Saturday or Sunday. And welcome to anyone who has recently joined the channel. We've added several thousand subscribers over the last few days. No doubt in part thanks to CTV, Zoomer Radio, CP24, and CBC. But we're heading south down Yonge Street, but like I said, we're not going to be doing this for long. I'm going to get off Yonge Street. We've done this walk a lot lately. St. Clair was just my starting point. Chris says, happy Thursday. Yeah, Simons, I heard about that. Unfortunately, not great times at Scarborough Town Center. And I ran into a TikTok live streamer who seemed like a super friendly guy a few weeks ago. I think his handle is the Oriental Gent, and I saw a clip that someone smashed his phone and possibly pulled a knife on him. I'm glad he's well, but yeah, you do have to be on your toes. I've been pretty lucky. I haven't had any incidents or anything in quite a while. But we'll take one of these residential streets on the right and we'll connect over to Avenue. There's a public set of courts here. Just waiting for the light to change. Gertej was watching my last stream this morning. That was an early stream, wasn't it? At least by my standards. Yeah, I watched the Jays lose to the Pirates yesterday afternoon. That was painful.
Oh my God, it's so cute.
And the Yankees won. Dope. But the Yankees are about to play the Red Sox, so hopefully they beat each other up. People wishing Philip well. Sorry to hear if something's happening, Philip. I missed the original message. I can't read every message when I'm walking around. I do my best. But sometimes you just can't read them all. I'm trying not to walk into things, trip over myself, be inconsiderate. Sweet Cheek says, good afternoon, Johnny and chat. Good afternoon to you. All right, let's turn right on this next street. We'll get off of Young. We'll save this route for another day. Fresh flowers, more blooms and plants inside. This is almost a perfect day. Blue skies, got some sun, there's a nice breeze. But let's just connect over to Avenue Road. And these are really nice residential streets in this area. Just north of Summer Hill. Artie likes that skyline view at the top of the hill. Well, we're gonna have to trade it for another view when we get to Avenue Road. There are some absolutely stunning homes. I would love to live here. Greetings, Harjot. Look at that. Hey, they've got an elephant in their front yard. I realize I'm walking towards the sun, but as soon as I get to Avenue, we'll head south. Very picturesque house with a Porsche in the driveway. Oh, I'm in top chat mode. Let me get on all messages here. Oops. I just speared myself in the head with a branch. Anyone walking behind me would have got a good laugh out of that. Hey, Yogi's here. Jeff Kennedy. Brad Palmer. This street is so nice. Look at these properties. Douglas is probably a lot of upkeep. Yeah, I would imagine. There's a lot of NIMBYs in this neighborhood that were anti-bike lanes. Maybe we'll go wide, just for this portion. We can get a better view. Look at that monster. Oh, there's a house, for lease. 103? Oh, 107. Gail says, hey Johnny, kudos to you for the great interview on the radio. Very professional, thank you. CBC cut it up into a neatly edited video. And they also posted a short of it. I didn't even know it was being recorded on video when I did that. Yeah, it was really neat. Hey, a Cybertruck meeting David Common. That's definitely a top flight organization, and CBC is such a valuable public asset. It's a sad state of affairs when the public broadcaster is the one exposing evil corporate practices. They do a lot of essential investigative work, that nobody else does. Toronto seems to be clean. Well, this is a particularly nice and pretty upscale area. But yeah, for the most part, the city's pretty clean. Greetings from the People's Republic of Brooklyn. Hey, we caught up to that shiny Cybertruck. Well, at least this one's not going to rust. I still think those things are fantastically stupid. Hey, there's Avenue Road. So we're going to start making our way south in a moment. All right, we can get rid of this nasty sun glare in a moment. Look how dangerous this is. This bus is blocking any vehicles from this direction from being able to see any pedestrians. That was Farnham Road, right at Avenue, but now we're at Avenue. And there's a look north towards St. Clair. Morgan says, what a stupid car. Hey, to each their own, I guess. I think they're stupid, but if you own one and wanted to give me a ride in one, I wouldn't say no. I might cover my face while doing it, but it would still be a neat experience. Pilot says be careful. Of what, rogue Cybertrucks? There's a beautiful old walk-up apartment building. Am I posting my trip to the CBC before my interview? Yeah, that one is scheduled for Saturday morning so far. I've also got a video I made yesterday ready to go for tomorrow. And I'm hoping to get out and make 3 or 4 videos tomorrow and possibly do a stream. De La Salle's sports facilities now. Yeah, there's a very high-end fancy school just here on the left with a very expensive tuition. HZ says, I saw your interview at the CBC, but you're waiting for the live of me going to the CBC and my after stream after finishing the interview. Yeah, it's a very Johnny thing to do, right? Monetize my day. I gotta wake up at the ass crack of dawn. Might as well get some content out of it. After this stream, I'm meeting a friend, and I think I'm going to try to talk them into some Korean food. Math Doctor says, howdy do, Blue Jays fans. You are looking at one. Howdy do, Math Doctor. Honestly, the ass crack of dawn, as I call it, is the best time of day. It's certainly a nice time to be out. It's not so great if you're into people watching. But if you just want to go take a walk, I don't think you'll get any argument from me. Is Korean food relatively expensive? Relative to what you would pay for it in Korea, yeah. Bibimbops go in the neighborhood of like 18 to 22 bucks at most places. For a dish I used to get for 4 or 5 over there. It's kind of what I feel like, a big bowl of beef bibimbap. Maybe just a light beer to go with it. Heads up, I might be going away pretty soon. So there may be a live stream or 2 or 3 from a somewhat distant city. Oh, look at this car. I don't even know what that is. Morgan says, do I ever get heat stroke? No. I do get lightheaded sometimes when I've been out in the heat walking for a long time. I keep an ice cold bubbly in my backpack. I'm wearing a hat and have shades on. That's usually enough. Remember, when I was in Tokyo the first time on this channel, I was streaming in like 38 to 40 degree weather. And that was pretty much the same thing when I went to Korea right after. This guy makes over 6 fingers. I got 10, well 8, plus a couple of thumbs. North American prices are made up. Well, Americans are just now finding about these taxes their orange president has applied to so many things being imported. People are shocked that all the back to school supplies are up like 20% at Walmart this year. Well, no shit. You're directly taxing everything. You can call them tariffs. You have to be a proper fucking moron to not know that tariffs are just another way of saying a tax on the importing country. Hey, it's Robert Davies Park. We're about to go under the Midtown CP rail line, so we're not quite downtown. Shout out to Steve Wicks. Yogi remembered the days when I refused any hats or caps. Yeah, those days are done. Some people speculated that it was because I'm losing hair. No, it was just kind of dumb of me to generally not wear a hat out in the sunny weather. Billy T says drinking water like crazy will defeat the dizziness. The weather is definitely turning. We had a very hot summer so far. And look at that view of the tower straight ahead. Gertej says, I look like the Terminator. Morgan asking about edibles. Yeah, I had some fantastic edibles last Saturday. I bought them from what I thought was one of the regulated weed shops. Then I saw stuff with like 500 milligrams of THC in it. I was like, oh, this is one of those kind of shops. But I got some great stuff on Saturday. There's McPherson. I'm gonna save coming here for the fall, but this street is absolutely stunning once all the colors start changing. Yogi says I look good wearing caps. I don't know about that. Hey, Randy Ruck is here. Non-regulated is the way to go. You won't look back. Well, I will say it was very inconsistent. I bought these chocolate cookies or chocolate chip cookies. And the first one didn't do shit and it didn't taste like anything. And then the second one, literally, it didn't taste like a cookie at all. It just tasted like I was eating weed. Should shrooms be legalized? I don't know. There's a few companies trying to get approval for medicinal shrooms. There's one called Numinous Wellness. They actually got into a lot of trouble and had their stock delisted for improper reporting of their financials. And there's another one called Mind Medicine. I think there's a few others. Well, I think we're a long ways off from seeing recreational mushrooms legalized. The cops just busted a store for that. I was seeing that, or I saw that on Reddit. Look for a brand called Pem. It's a good one. Vintage and pre-loved clothing. So we're still north of downtown, but we are entering Yorkville in a moment. It's a little entranceway to Ramsden Park. Pedestrian safety improvements, including new street-level pedestrian spaces, are coming to Avenue Road from DuPont to Davenport. Neat. All these barriers. Howard Charco says your cookies at least taste good. Your cookies knocked me out, man. They did taste good. But they sent me straight to dreamland. I think they did a number on Ken. Good to see you, Howard. Asha Thomas says, "Hi John, so glad to meet you here long time after AXA. Proud of you, my friend." Asha. That was way back when, what, 2007, 2008, we worked together at the North American Center, right up at Yonge and Finch. You worked for Amina? No, we both worked for Will. That was the last job I had before I ran off to Korea. I've had a few people that I haven't spoken to in a very long time reach out to me after that recent media coverage. And hope all is well, Asha. Now you can go ahead and tell everyone what a shitty worker I am. Alright, so on the right side is the Annex neighborhood. On the left side of the road here is Yorkville. Ashley says, I know, remember the Reflex team? Yes, I came to know from Milk Bag and CBC coverage. What is Milk Bag? Mothman, $10. I left Toronto for Burlington 2 months ago after spending 15 years in the city. Honestly, not liking it much. Exploring my options to return. Mothman, thank you so much. I think that was the first super of the stream. Thank you so much, Mothman. Well, you know, as they say, the grass isn't always greener. No offense to anyone, but I've always kind of thought of the suburbs as the worst of both worlds. You don't get all the convenience and liveliness of the city, but you don't get the peacefulness of the countryside or smaller towns. Instead, everything's just kind of super inconvenient and spaced out and isolated and car dependent. If that's your jam, cool, but it's certainly not mine. All right, let's head over to Hazelton.
You the guy that walks around the city?
I'm one of them, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Right,
just doing a live stream right now.
Sorry.
No worries. Okay. Cool. Well, cheers. Am I that guy that walks around the city? Well, I'm one of them. Yeah, after university, I got a job at an insurance company. And I moved into a brand new house in Milton with my partner at the time. And the mortgage was in her name, but I was paying half of it. And it didn't take me very long to realize I was miserable out there. Oh, look at this view. A couple of really exciting new towers going up in the same shot. Billy T says suburban housing is the only way to own a home. I don't know, the prices are so insane. I'd rather own a Toronto home. You used to get much better value in the suburbs, but I don't really think that's the case anymore so much. Whitby Dude says, not all suburbs. You live in Old Whitby, very small town feel. Yeah, there's parts of Mississauga like that too, like Streetsville and Port Credit. Downtown Oakville by the lake is kind of like that. But look at this street. This will lead us down into the heart of Yorkville Village, but this is one of my favorite streets. I've always said, if money were no object, and I had to live in a house, not a condo, this is exactly where I would live. Steps from downtown, steps from a subway stop. Have you ever heard of a turn signal? Apparently not. Christopher Walking says Hamilton doesn't seem much cheaper anymore. GNC says hi from near Edmonton. You're originally from near Windsor. You haven't been in Toronto for a long time. I had plane tickets to Edmonton a few years ago. And then right as, like a day before I was about to go, the wildfires kicked up, and the person I was going with said, let's just do this another time, because the air was so bad there. Jason says, we met on the TTC streetcar and you're a member of Cycle Toronto. Perhaps you'll do an impromptu interview with you in 2026 if you run for city council. Oh, I remember you, Jason. Reach out to me before that date. It was a pleasure meeting you. I think I was making my way down from Broadview. Look at this. Am's Touch, thank you. Oh, I had a lot of people after that article, like at least 10, email me asking if I can hook them up with an apartment, because they got a little nosy and published my rent in that article. I was like, no, I cannot get you a rent-controlled apartment. They're actually trying to jack my rent up quite a bit. I got a notice from the Tenants Association. Their application for an above-board increase has been put through. They redid our balconies and painted the parking garage. This is another street I'll have to do in the fall. John Nicholson, it is. You're welcome, Am's Touch. We are on Hazelton Avenue heading into Yorkville Village. Already says Hazelton is beautiful. It is. The video I posted for tomorrow, at least the one I think that's going to go live tomorrow, starts in Yorkville Village. I caught the aftermath of a pretty nasty car accident in that one. Map Doctor says, is the 5-star Hazelton Hotel on this road? It is. It's right at the end. There's a shopping mall just to the right. I was going to pan the camera that way, but there's a bunch of people coming out, and it's a narrow walkway. GNC, yeah, one of the cars was, it was like a head-on collision. One of the cars was crumpled into a van, and there was a police car behind it. But I didn't see any anyone else. It was literally just one cop. So I'm guessing whoever was involved in the crash either left for medical attention or they just left and the cop was waiting around to have it cleaned up. Mike Landry, hello, Johnny and everyone. Are you going to the meetup? What is this meetup you speak of, Mike Landry? But thank you so much for the $3. I honestly am not aware of what you're referring to. Nicole Morse, greetings. Mako says, I nailed it when I described my audience. Well, I basically described them as anyone and everyone. Fancy bougie restaurant on the right here. Very expensive 5-star hotel. Am I walking by the huge rock? I wasn't planning on it. I'm heading down to the Eaton Center, but we could take Old York Lane, I guess. Wow, look at the wing on that Porsche. This is a very photogenic neighborhood. I recorded through here on a Saturday the other week, and it wasn't as busy as it is now on like a Thursday afternoon. Oh, Henry's meetup on, it's this Saturday, Mike? Is that isn't that a future meetup? Thank you for the $3, Mike. I'm gonna have to check the messages. I've been so busy, I'm out of the loop on everything. So to the person, I think it was Whippy Dude asking about the rock. There we go. Does this satisfy your curiosity? What's the best way to receive payments we make on YouTube? And hope you see my compliment. Curious if I'm traveling or live there? Well, I very much live here. If by payments you mean super chats or donations, they're certainly not necessary, but if you insist any way you want to, there's a super chat button and there's a PayPal link in the description. There's also channel memberships and Patreon. Speaking of which, I'm gonna have to get on uploading a members exclusive video for this month. Which reminds me, I need to check something here. All right, Brad. I'll have to look into that. I've got tickets to an event on Saturday night. We're in Yorkville Village. Lisa says, this place again? Oh, this is where you work, eh? Mike, you're spoiling me. Brad verified it Saturday. Thank you, Mike Landry. It depends on the time and place, because I do have tickets for something later that night that were purchased a long, long time ago, but I'll take a look and see. But thank you so much, Mike. GNC says PayPal takes a cut. Yeah, they all take a cut. But really, if someone wants to donate, it's not my place to tell them how. There's options available. Is this guy getting a haircut or something? What event? I'll reveal that after the fact.
Like the plant or the plants inside?
What is this? Diesel and Drax Adventures. Follow Diesel and Drax Adventures. German Shepherd twins. GSDtwins.com. That's what happens when you've got a very successful YouTube channel, I guess. Jenny Krutzkamp. Let me just step aside for a second. For doing a good job of looking like you knew what you were talking about before the 9 a.m. morning interview. Congrats on everything. Glad to know you. Well, glad to have you around, Jenny. Thank you for the super chat and the support. Jenny is one of the OG viewers of the channel. Thank you so much, Jenny Krutzkamp. From a land way up north. Someone guessing Oasis. I'd just rather not announce it so people don't go out of their way to go there because I'm there. I've made that mistake before of saying where I was going. And then someone went because they heard I was going. It's like, cool, but I don't mind saying hi to people, but that's not an invite to hang out for the whole night. For the record, I stopped and waved that VinFast through. Lisa says it's a trumper with German Shepherds. Oh, it's your birthday in 2 weeks, Jenny. Well, Brad, hopefully we can say hi. It was nice meeting you on New Year's a few years back. We have made it to Bloor. I'm thinking where to go. Maybe we'll go this way. I was just up Bay Street in my last live, but it won't hurt to go down it for a few blocks. I've got 40 minutes or so to get to the Eaton Center. I think we can accomplish that. This is Bay and Bloor, which was part of the city's scramble crossing tests. It was deemed not to be busy enough, which I think was a stupid conclusion. What they should have done was just made it a scramble crossing during peak hours when you do have this critical mass of people. And then outside of those hours, it can just operate as a regular crossing. Why did it have to be an all or nothing thing is beyond me. That's the city for you.
Back there, right? I don't know how I did it. Because the rabbit came up.
That guy was talking about how he almost ate shit. Randy Rex says, that's a haul, man. I better get moving. No, it's easy. I'm actually stalling. Harjot went to Yorkville yesterday. Oh, I saw you at the CNE last Friday. Coming up is Charles Street. I recorded on Charles yesterday, so we'll skip that. On this one, we're going Southbound Bay. YSS. Hi Johnny and everyone in the chat. Thank you for the stream. We are watching from our hotel room in Hamburg. Greetings from Sven and Simone. YSS, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you, YSS. Hopefully you're enjoying your time in Hamburg. Greetings, Mohammed. Chris Mills says the weather is just about perfect. I would say so. Hey, Google Flights is telling me there's flights from Toronto to Tokyo round trip for $1,000. So apparently there's a power outage, or there was a power outage at the atrium on Bay. And the Muji has been closed all day. And even though the power is back on, they never reopened. Somebody is complaining to me about that. Greetings, Mark M. Thank you, Olivia. Math Doctor says it was about 900 a month ago. Not a direct though. Yeah, the directs are totally worth it. Also, as much as I like Haneda Airport, no thanks. I've been there twice in the last year and dealt with some absolutely awful immigration lines. Like the worst I've ever been in, back to back. Sorry, Haneda. I'll be flying into Narita if I can help it. Randy Ruck, $5 for the Whatever Fund. Randy Ruck. The Beaming Bop for Dinner Fund.
It's like what you do when you like.
Thank you, Randy Ruck. Thank you so much for the $5 and the support. There's a Denny's bus. Back when I was in grade 7, there was a 7-8 trip to Washington, D.C., and we took a Denny's bus. Ryan says, why do I not like Haneda? Because even though it's closer and easier to get to the city than Narita, you spend a good 3 hours just rotting to death in their immigration line. Alright, maybe at Wellesley we'll cut over a little bit. All right, good night, Mohammed. Thank you. Your husband and I love your streams. Thank you, Rena. I like how people outside the fake cast. I think this is in honor of a clone that was short-lived, and they had to cast its legs. I knew the full story behind that at one point, but the old noggin doesn't function like it used to. Maybe it was getting COVID 100,000 times. Thank you, GNC. All right, let's cross here. Greetings, Marie Palmer. Kind of dig the streetscape in. Yeah, we'll make a left at Wellesley. I'll have to see Marie. I've got something going on Saturday night. If I can make it, I will. Barvolo is just over there enjoying their new home. Well, they've been there for quite a while, but I'm glad it stuck around. Alright, we've made it to Wellesley Street. The S is pronounced more like a Z. Lisa says good city. By the way, I'm trying out a new device. A couple of new devices on this stream. I don't normally take sponsorship offers, but I was contacted by a company about something that was pretty neat and not inexpensive. And it seemed like something right up my alley in terms of what I do, so I agreed to accept their product. But anytime I do that, I always let them know the video's gonna have to wait, or it's gonna have to wait till I talk about it, because I need time to evaluate it and put it through its paces. It's crazy. Some of these companies are like, can we send you this? And then as soon as you get it, they're like, can you send us the video? It's like, I just got the thing. How the hell have I had any time to form any thoughts or opinions on it? So do be wary of a lot of the stuff you see YouTubers trying to peddle. They just really want to cash a check or get some affiliate sales through the link. And I always tell them if I don't like it or don't feel comfortable presenting it in my videos, I'm going to send it back and not keep it. And we can undo any agreement we had. Which I've had to do with a few products. I've been sent some garbage before. I remember there's a company that sent me a gimbal camera that was so bad, I told them this is so bad. And they're like, well, you said you were gonna make a video with it. So I made a video with it showing how bad the product was. It was awful. Maybe on the next Sunday Night Stumbles I can show you what that video was. But it was a new gimbal camera designed to compete with like the DJI Osmos. As we cut through Dr. Lillian McGregor Park. And when they sent it to me, there weren't any videos on YouTube of anyone else using it at the time. So I was like, yeah, I'll try it out, and if it's good, I'll show it off. It was not good. And they're like, well, you said you would show it off. So I did, and it's still sitting in a box in my apartment. I haven't touched it since. What a nice park this is. Dr. Lillian H. McGregor Park. Just south of Wellesley, squeezed between Bay and Young. Oh, that playground looks sweet. Do you ever do reviews of my own favorite equipment? I haven't gotten into that so much. Whenever DJI releases a new camera, I always do. That's me, hello.
How you doing?
Good, we're just live. You want to be on a live stream?
No. Sick, man.
Cool, well, nice to meet you. Cheers.
Don't worry, I won't show you.
He recognized me, but opted out of the live stream appearance. You can actually have yourself a really interesting walk if you go south between Bay and Yonge. There's a lot of side streets and some laneways. I've done a few videos doing that. I'll have to come back and do another one. And I absolutely love these new mid-engined Corvettes. They are super sharp. Why spend $300-400K on a Ferrari or Lambo? And for a third of the cost, you could have one of those that will perform just as good. A little bit of plastic inside, but they had to cut costs somewhere. Maybe he has warrants. Well, if you have warrants, you shouldn't just be chilling in a public park exposed like that. Lisa misses the Camaro. I kind of like the Firebird a little bit more. It's mechanical twin. Yeah, you can have yourself an adventure. Just walking north-south between Bay and Yonge. And we're gonna go by a building that always has provincial police cars in front of it. I don't think I've ever walked by here, at least in the daytime, and not seen OPP cars. This is a provincial building here. The George Drew Building. Here on Grosvenor Street. Oh, there's a cop in that one. The engine's running. Probably to keep the AC going. There's got to be courts or something in there. I'm not sure why else the OPP would be coming into this neck of the woods. At St. Luke Lane. And this is what I mean by you have options. I'm going north-south. Let's take this little stretch south of Block. We'll get out of all the hustle and bustle for a moment. That is College Park, kind of at the terminus of this alleyway. And I saw somewhere, apparently in Manhattan, they only have 2 or 3 alleys like this. It kind of has this reputation for being full of these dark alleyways that are dangerous at night. And you'll see that in movies often, but apparently there's only a few in all of Manhattan. Toronto is full of them. All right, I guess that's enough side street dilly-dallying. Hey, there's that Corvette. No, that's a different Corvette. Same color. very similar, but had a different custom plate on it. So how's my timing looking? Need to be at the Eaton Center at 6:15. I'm actually on pace to be slightly early as we go south down Yonge Street once more. This stream started on Yonge Street. Let's try to make this light. This is College I'm crossing. If I were on the other side of the street, I would say I'm crossing Carlton. We'll just pop down to the square.
Oh, all right. I don't mind. Yeah, because you want the one on the left.
Those guys had a big package from IKEA. There's a couple of bike cops. I'm always conflicted when I buy something from this IKEA. It's like, do I lug it on the subway? Or should I just get a Lyft or Uber or something? And pay that self-delivery fee. Yeah, Pine-Sol, that intersection has changed a lot. And I don't think that 7-Eleven closed due to a lack of business. I think there was a somewhat undesirable crowd that was in the store and in front of it pretty much 24/7. Andy Wood loves and hates IKEA. Yeah, whenever I buy anything from there, I always just poke around on Wayfair and online sites. But usually I end up getting whatever I'm getting from IKEA. I think we've seen these. I think I've seen them before in the stream. I don't want to pick up a copyright though. So how do I decide where to walk each day? Well, if I have any plans or obligations, I usually plan my walks around that. Live streams are kind of random. I just try to find a route I haven't done in a while. This is Gerrard Street coming up. Uncomfortable chairs. Who needs uncomfortable chairs? Douglas says IKEA will deliver. very appropriate to be riding that thing on the sidewalks, wouldn't you say? And we have another super tall to watch rise. Anthony says I don't. Well, they're not copyright strikes. A copyright strike is a pretty bad thing. I've never got one, and if I did, I would defend it. But what they can do is restrict your monetization.
I was just watching your stream cooking dinner up here. I thought I'd say hi.
Oh, awesome. Hi, do you want to be on the stream?
Sure.
Cooking dinner where?
My building's right there, so
Oh.
I was just cooking dinner.
Oh, I thought maybe a restaurant, but cool.
I saw your article. Cool to see what you're doing, man.
And your name?
I'm Sammy.
Sammy. Well, nice to meet you.
You too.
Cheers.
Keep at it.
Thank you. Friendly viewer. Just so happened to be right around the corner from here. He popped down to say hi. Learning all about the delay between the stream and reality. Is everyone's emergency alert. 8-month-old vehicle last seen Brampton. I'll check your phones if you're in the Toronto area. Looks like a little one has been taken away, unfortunately. I was always curious if that would interrupt the live stream or not, or if the software would keep going, because I can't go out of this software during the stream or it breaks up the connection, but it seemed to hold steady through that. There's Zanzibar, 75 topless, bottomless vixens. Well, I'm a fan of the facade. It's funny that people will, I guess, just because they have a similar name, will compare Dundas Square to Times Square, even though they're very different. But that area and this area were quite similar back in the 70s and early 80s. They were both quite seedy. There were a lot of adult establishments in both, and a lot of a certain activity going on. And both have been cleaned up considerably since then. There's the warehouse. All right, we're gonna cross here. Let's go check out the square.
Schedule a meeting for 4:30.
Thanks for moving, lady. If you were a dude, I would have laid my shoulder into you. We are almost at Yonge and Dundas. Hopefully that song doesn't get picked up. Passing by the food place with the music. Hey, I like that food place with the music. It's a very good value. Chipotle. When the whole Trump riffraff started, I tried to cut all the American establishments out and products that I could, but Chipotle is one I went crawling back to. Please forgive me, fellow Canadians. And there's a new Shake Shack opening up at Yonge and Eglinton. Right near the northeast corner of Yonge and Eglinton on Eglinton Avenue East. They're setting up for an event this weekend at Dundas Square. Standing with your back to the subway doors when they're actively being used is a douche move. Just standing in the doorway itself, if they're the ones opening, I think is a pretty dick thing to do.
For all crossings.
At least try to like turn sideways and make yourself as small as possible. Dogs need kindness, not cruelty. Save the dogs. Justice for Indian dogs. We stand with the strays of Delhi. That's a really unique cause. As someone who is a fan of dogs, that sounds absolutely tragic what's happening over there. There's something almost wholesome about seeing kids protesting about that particular issue. Very random. All right, I need to make my way a little bit west of here. This is Dundas Street West. Right at Dundas Station. Apparently it's being renamed to TMU Station. Yeah, I don't think anyone's actually going to call it that for quite a while. But yeah, Muji is closed. They had a power outage and they just decided to stay off for the whole day, apparently. Crazy. Alright, says Muji is opening at the well. That seems like a fitting location for them. Heinzel wonders how the CEO of the TTC is managing. He seems to be very hands-on. and very committed to improving the experience, which already makes them worlds better than the last one.
Yeah, I think so.
And this is the atrium on Bay on the right. That was a fun walk from Yonge and St. Clair. Got some nice residential streets in, as well as Yonge Street, Avenue Road, Yorkville Village, a little bit of Bloor Street, Bay Street, Wellesley, a few laneways and side streets, Dundas Square. Saw a neat little slice of mostly central downtown. But, like all good things, they gotta come to an end. I wanna thank everyone who tuned in. Friendly reminder to like, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified when I go live next. I'm not sure if that'll be tomorrow or Saturday. If I don't make it out to this event, I'm sorry, I would have liked to, but we're gonna have to see. But huge thanks to our mods, Patreon supporters, channel members. Welcome to all the new viewers who got wind of this channel through a few different major media outlets that for some reason decided to feature me. Welcome aboard. But huge thanks to everyone. I'll be premiering a video tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. EDT, as I do most mornings. Thank you so much, guys. Yoink. Oh, one more thing. Yes, I am aware there is an error in the date on the outro. I didn't have time to fix it. All right, thanks guys.